the Michael Chandler interview where he talks about this also. So Chandler also talked about this in this interview. Now, you guys tell me, you read the room, dude. Read the room on Chandler's interview right here, and you tell me if this looks like a guy who's talking about a victorious effort. Now, Conor went on Twitter last night, and I'm going to quote him, "Wait a minute, no, I'm not," because you're not allowed to talk like this at the beginning of YouTube videos, or else you'll get demonetized. So we're going to sit back for a second, and I'm going to tell you what Conor revealed on Twitter last night, which is which team won the Ultimate Fighter. And he did that by accident, I think, or maybe he got baited into it because someone poked him, and unsurprisingly, Conor being one of the most ferocious fighters to ever, grace the earth. And we don't need to get into semantics about, he's not that. Okay, if you're in the UFC, automatically you are a ferocious human being. And Conor being one of the most ferocious ever, shockingly, like a person like that, when they tweet something, if someone goes, "Hey, boop," and they poke him, sometimes they say things that they shouldn't. And Conor last night said a thing that he shouldn't have said, assuming that he is trying to hide who won the Ultimate Fighter, because he gave it away. He gave it away. And then Michael Chandler did an interview, which I'm going to show you, where he confirmed what Conor said. Conor basically said directly what happened. Chandler definitely lived up to his end of the contract, which is to not reveal who won Ultimate Fighter. But when you take the two things and you put them together, I'm going to be able to tell you exactly who won Ultimate Fighter, basically for sure. And you guys can watch it. You know what? I guess this is one of those moments where it's like, spoiler alert. I would say it's, if I was going to put my, my confidence level, I'd say 95% that I'll be, not which fighter, which team, right? So like, if you don't, whatever, if you're more interested in just, okay, well, which team won? And also, why, what are they saying? Then, continue watching. If you really are like, I don't want to know who won, which team won, then this is a spoiler alert. Okay. And also I think I've killed enough time to where I can read Conor's tweet. Okay. And this is just this is how this started. Okay. So I'm going to quote Conor. This is how it started. And then it goes into a whole chain of tweets because him and Ali Abdelaziz got into it on Twitter and they started talking back and forth and Conor revealed a lot. So here is the initial tweet that started it all. Firas Zahabi is a little douchebag. Now, I talked to Firas on his live stream, and apparently he knows my channel. I was so flattered, man. Firas is one of the only guys where he says a thing. I don't care what I thought about the fight. I'm like, well, I'm betting on what he said. Firas Zahabi is a little douchebag. Trevor Whitman is a pad man. Javier Mendez is a fat lick arse kickboxer. Mike Brown is a smelly prick. Greg Jackson got caught up. The system of Coach Kavanaugh is now shining through. In years to come, the world will know what we have been at. It's beginning to bear fruit. If you want to train at SBG Ireland with Cav and me. We are a fight factory akin to butter churning. Now, so Conor knows how to get the attention of the public. We're going to talk about that also in this video because we got a lot going on the Colby and Bilal and all that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a whole separate video about that because Bilal's blowing up, son. Bilal Muhammad's blowing up, okay? You want to know, how is Bilal Muhammad going to end up getting a title shot? Exactly what he's doing right now. Exactly what he's doing right now. I commented on one of the videos. I was like, this is what you, just do what I do on my YouTube channel, except in fighter, run towards the drama, dude. You see drama, dive in front of a camera, say something outlandish, and he's doing an exceptional job of that. But no one's better than this guy at it, right? Because Conor, he knows if he goes, hey, do you want to come train at SBG Ireland? Who wants to come train? Now, personally, if I lived within 100 miles of SBG Ireland, of course I would go train there. Obviously. That's one thing I think that people don't understand, like about martial arts gyms and schools and teams, is like, dude, these guys that you idolize are so accessible, man. You just have to train. That's all. And you don't even have to be good. You just have to be a person who trains. And then you can go and you can train at their gym and then you will meet them and then you will train with them. Like if I was anywhere near this place, dude, I'd drive 2 hours each way. I'd drive an hour each way as it is to train with my coaches. Victor Hugo, Steve Hargett, Shanji Ribeiro, Six Blades in Austin. Mine in Lake Travis specifically. But so I would definitely do that. But Conor tweets this out and he starts it off by running his mouth about all the other coaches so it gets a bunch of attention. Like He's the best ever at this. He just is. Now, he gets into it later, though, and then we get into the tough stuff. And I'll talk about that in 1 second. First, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. We're going to handshake it. I appreciate you guys. Dude, I asked for it yesterday, and you guys, I got a ton of subs yesterday. Thank you guys very much. For those of you who are not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. It's the cost. It's like we handshake. I'll make the videos. All you have to do is just click subscribe and then forget about it. Thank you for doing that. Also, it's time to talk about Sheath underwear, because guess what? I wait until the last week of the month and then I say, go get a pair of Sheath underwear at sheathunderwear.com and then use the promo code FIRE and then send me the receipt and you're entered in to win this month's Jordans. Last month's Jordans just arrived. I got them the white on white ones. They're so sick. I keep meaning to actually buy them for myself, but I haven't done it yet. But yeah, so Sheath underwear is the best, dude. You got everything for your package. You guys, obviously everybody knows what Sheath is by now. So you should definitely go get a pair. And if you send me your receipt, you will get entered in to win a pair of Jordans. And you also get the best underwear on the market. So sheathunderwear.com and then use the promo code FIRE. F-I-R-E. Not F-I-Y-A. Whatever I was just doing. F-I-R-E. All right. So now we get into the tough stuff. So here's what happened. So Conor said that, right? I'll read it fast one more time. Faraz Zahabi is a little douchebag. Trevor Whitman is a pad man. Javier Mendez is a fat ass-licking kickboxer. Mike Brown is a smelly prick. Greg Jackson got caught up. The system of Coach Kavanaugh is now shining through. In years to come, the world will know what we have been at. It's beginning to bear fruit. If you want to train at SBG Ireland with Cav and me. We are a fight factory akin to butter churning. So, first of all, I look at Coach Kavanaugh. He has like the best energy for a coach. Like, I mean, all these guys do actually. Faraz, dude, you see how like the really great coaches, they all have that same type of energy. All the guys that he mentioned. I mean, like all of these guys have the same energy. All the best coaches have the same energy, which is that like super calm confidence. Like they have this thing where they, what's the right way to put this? They're like, it's like attention comes here, and these are guys that are comfortable kind of absorbing it and then passing it along. Same with John Danaher. Exactly the same kind of energy. Calm, right? Really, really calm. Very confident, very calm. And Cav, like I said, every single person on this list has that same energy. I would love to train with all of them. But, you know, Conor is Conor. Conor's one of those, he's a, you know. And so Ali Abdelaziz, who is excellent at the exact, I mean, what are we talking about, dude? What am I talking about with Bilal, right? Oh, there's something that we can bring attention here. There's nothing more valuable in this business than attention. Nothing. That is the entire business. I mean, you know, you have to be good at fighting, and then you have to be able to grab the attention. And nobody battles Conor on Twitter better than Ali Abdelaziz. They always go back and forth. So Ali Abdelaziz came on and he said, please, this sounds like you're taking fentanyl and you're out of your mind. Faraz, Trevor, Javier, Greg Jackson, and Mike Brown. And you and your coach cannot even shine their shoes. Your team alongside 20 UFC fighters got cut from the UFC because you all suck. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he said, Javier Mendez trained Khabib to beat the shit out of you and took your soul away. Mike Brown trained Dustin Poirier to level you back to back. Trevor is your worst nightmare because you would not even look at Justin. Grow up. And then Conor responded, hey, shit stain on the game. I'm talking as of now, it is beginning to bear fruit. We beat their system of fighting on tough. Right out of the gate, right? We beat their system of fighting on tough. And by the way, this was like at night last night. So it's possible, you know, let's go celebrate, right? We beat their system of fighting on tough. It's locked down. It's no wonder shit pants scurried. He's talking about Khabib, obviously. There's no competing now. The head of the style is too fat, a bitch, and afraid to compete again, so we win. You can't compete with us. Watch and witness, you rat bastard. Okay, so he's talking about Khabib, and he said you're the head of the style? Head of the style. Oh, fighting style. Head of the fighting style. Okay, so then, so Ali comes back, he says, the head of my style, you mean Khabib? Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you see him. One of the biggest embarrassing moments in sports history. He showed you are trash and your team is trash, and he showed doesn't matter what you do, you always gonna be trash. I wouldn't say, I mean, you know, certainly he's in a position that, like, I wouldn't say that was necessarily what it looked like. Khabib obviously beat Conor, but Conor did pretty well given that it's Khabib, you know? I mean, I realize it's kind of like a silly argument because you're like, I mean, come on, man, it's Khabib, but like that is, you know, I mean, to like an objective outsider, to all of us, it's like, I mean, Conor did pretty good against Khabib, given that it's Khabib, right? I like thinking back on that fight just because, like, because I'm obviously a huge Conor fan, also a huge Khabib fan, and like, I just like looking back on that fight because in hindsight, when you actually, like, you really like watch it, it's like, like Khabib was, you know how these guys are, dude. Like they try not to do the like spaz out thing. And so those guys, they just take it all in and it just festers, dude. And Khabib, it just festered and he exploded in that fight, especially the second round, dude. Like in the second round, he was trying to punch a hole through Conor's face. I think that's why he took the third round off, is because he let too much out in the second round, trying to punch a hole through Conor's face. And then Conor won the third round, mostly because Khabib didn't have really, you know, super high output. And then in the fourth round, Khabib, you know, obviously finished him off. But then it was like, that wasn't enough, you know? Like, it's like, that wasn't enough. So he jumped the cage. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's beautiful, dude. Because if you really look at the sport as a, as something real, right? Like, it's not just a show all the time. Because especially like right now, when you're looking at like Belal and Colby, and they're going back and forth, and Belal goes, oh, it's just because you're white. And then Colby's like, that's disgusting, man. I watched that clip a few times again. It's so ridiculous, dude. Like, it is so ridiculous. Like, Colby feigning like he's actually insulted by that. He's like, that's it. Okay, I'm just going to say this in general. When white people act like they are genuinely super upset about things like that, okay, it's absurd. Okay, like we can certainly like I just like pointing out the hypocrisy in it, right? Like if someone's like, they say like, oh, you know, white people, blah, 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 and you're like, guys, give me, can you imagine if we said that about you? Like, can you just like, are you serious? Can you actually imagine if we were like, oh, it's because blah, 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 or something? Like, I like pointing out the hypocrisy, but if people actually act as if they are like, you know, like there's smoke coming out of their ears, the way that it would be in reverse, right? Like if a white person actually said something directly, it's like, come on, dude. Like, just, you can point out that it's total hypocrisy because it is, but like, let's not pretend you're actually like super mad about it, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's funny, is because Colby's all, it's racism. Can you imagine if I said a thing like that? I would never say a thing like that. It's like, dude, you're not mad about this, dude. You're not. It is totally hypocritical and funny, but like, come on. You're not actually this mad about it, you know? And you know it, and I know it, which makes it even funnier. But anywho, so like I'm saying, like a lot of this stuff is just kind of like blah, blah, blah. And Belal is killing it now because he's putting himself right in the center. Bilal's profile has exploded in the last few days. Exploded. He could not have done a better job at this. Belal Muhammad could not have done a better job in the last week. Couldn't have. Not possible. Could not have done a better job. He's continuing to do a better job. Now, dude, Bilal's on the map, son. Like, this is half your job. This is half your job. And he actually he's active on Twitter, but this is what you need. Conflict. Run towards the guy who is going to create conflict. And Colby, look at what he's done. Dude, I got to do a separate video about this, so I don't want to step on it. But look at the brilliance that Colby has implemented. I'm talking like I did a video about it yesterday, and since then, it's even better, dude. But my point is that it's bullshit, right? Like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Everything having to do with Colby and Belal and Colby made threats at John Anik. Shut the fuck up. Colby's not going to do anything to John Anik. No one actually believes that. No one fucking believes that Colby's going to go after John Anik. Give me a fucking break, dude. No one believes that. No one. Not one person actually thinks that John Anik should be concerned about Colby going after him. Ridiculous. It's not fucking, give me a break. You can all go on Twitter and be like, hey man, I would fuck Colby up. Good. Get yourself right in the middle of this. Smart. What am I doing? I'm talking about it on my YouTube channel, trying to get attention. We're all doing the same fucking thing. But that's an attention magnetic thing, right? Attention magnetic, you know what I mean. Where the Khabib and Conor thing was fucking real. That's what I'm talking about. That's why that fight is incredible. It's because it was fucking real. It was real. It was not fake, right? Like, they're talking back and forth, and Khabib, you know, just send me the location. Just tell me where. Why do you need all? It's real. It was fucking real. And at the end of the fight, after he had beat Conor and they choked him and they made him let go, he like, it wasn't enough. He wanted to strangle him to death. He's like, it wasn't enough. And so he snapped. He fucking snapped and he jumped the fence. That's why him jumping the fence is so awesome. Not because it's a big spectacle, not because that, it's because it demonstrates that that shit was fucking real. That's when I became a huge fan of Khabib. Not because he beat Conor, not because of any of that, because it showed like, this shit's not a fucking game for him, dude. Like, this shit wasn't a fucking game. It was not, it was so real that he snapped and he jumped the fence and tried to attack Dylan Dennis. He's like, he had kept it professional through the entire buildup, and at the end of the fight, it wasn't enough, and he fucking snapped, because it's real for him. And it's real for all these guys that jumped in there and went nuts. Now, obviously, that was stupid. Jumping in the octagon and attacking a guy who just lost a fight for 4 rounds. Like, dude, hang on. Let me just make sure I understand. Like, if you were going to actually, like, have a conversation with these guys in advance, they're all, okay, so if it was planned, so here's what we're going to do. After Khabib wins and he jumps the fence and the brawl starts, us, who are under contract with the UFC, we're going to jump the fence and we're going to go and attack Conor, who just fought for 20 minutes, and he lost. He got punched 100 times, and then he got choked, and we're gonna punch him. It's like, why? Because fuck Conor. You're all, whoa, dude. I think, like, if they were actually thinking long-term strategy, I think it's really gonna build our profile. You're like, okay, all right, hold on. Have you discussed this with Ali? I think that you should probably run this by him, dude, because, he's the one that, like, has a relationship with the UFC. I think he might think that this is not a good idea. No, we're good, dude. We talked about it amongst ourselves. Listen, maybe run it by your manager, because I have a feeling that he's going to tell you that if you punch the UFC golden boy, they're going to throw you the fuck out of the UFC and prosecute you. Don't do that. Definitely 100% fucking do not do that. Don't, like, it can be real for Khabib because he's fighting Conor in a fight. No. After the fight's over, do not fucking touch Conor. 100% don't. Definitely don't fucking jump the fence and then touch Conor. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. They're going to throw you out of the UFC 100%. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. No, not a good idea. Don't do it. Definitely fucking don't do it, dude. Definitely don't do it. We're going to do it anyway. Okay. All right. Don't say we didn't warn you, dude. Anywho, wow, I just went on a fucking long-ass tangent, and I forgot to even show you guys the Michael Chandler interview where he talks about this also. So Chandler also talked about this in this interview. Now, you guys tell me, you read the room, dude. Read the room on Chandler's interview right here, and you tell me if this looks like a guy who's talking about a victorious effort or a not victorious effort. Ready? Watch it. Boom.
For a month in Vegas, as you all know, filming The Ultimate Fighter, opposite of Conor McGregor, and we have had a blast. Been some ups, been some downs, been some very cordial stuff, been other times where we get caught up in the spirit of competition. I love my guys. I think my guys did well, win, lose, or draw. We all came there, and we did a really great job. It was so much harder than I anticipated.
So, I mean, I realized, like, maybe I'm overconfident with my poker face, but maybe not, And obviously, I love Chandler. I love that guy. And in case there's ever been any misconception about why, it's because he's the very first big fighter who ever mentioned me in an interview. And I was like, oh. I mean, I was already a fan anyway, but I was like, he said Jesse on fire. What? I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't believe it. I was watching Jesse on Fire this morning, and like, I'm doing what Dustin would do. And I was like, I had said what Dustin should do after the January 2021 fight. And he quoted me in an interview with Helen Yee, and I was like, he saw my fucking video, dude. And then he said my name. Just like Chael did yesterday in the Francis Ngannou going to 1FC one. Thank you again, Chael. Kiss your face. But yeah, so I don't know. You guys tell me. Does that look like someone who won? Does that look like someone who won, or do you think that Conor just tipped his hand? Because I think Conor just tipped his hand. So anyway, I've been talking long enough. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Go follow my other channel, Jesse on Fire After Hours. Oh, I got to mention this really quick, and I'm going to put this at the beginning if I remember. So here is the deal with the fake interviews, okay? The fake interviews are under the octagon with Jesse on Fire. Okay, so here's the issue. So I was wondering why are these not, like, the click-through rate's insane on these. Why is YouTube not showing it to people? And it was like, oh, the watch time is too short. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a fucking 4-minute video. Of course the watch time's short. But when I looked at the actual analytics, what was going on is because people were clicking on it, not realizing it's a fake interview. They think it's like a real thing based on the deal. Like they don't know Under the Octagon is like me, juking interviews. And so they're as soon as they realize it's not real, they click off. And so like the retention is terrible. So we are going to be doing this from now on. They're going to be Under the Octagon with Jesse on Fire. I'm putting them on my other channel. So when you see Under the Octagon with Jesse on Fire, you will know those are the fake interviews where I am making fun of people and making it super funny. Or I think they're fucking funny anyway. I will share them on here. I will preview them here. But please share those with everybody that you know. I'm going to I'll like incentivize you guys to share them. Like anybody who shares them on Instagram and tags me, I will put that in my story. And anybody who shares them on Twitter, I will retweet. So, and that goes for the current one, dude. So anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Pete.